Now let's take that and go into this Havana syndrome, because you have said that some of these directed energy weapon systems have led to some very strange behavior, some very strange, physical ailments. And you're saying that we saw them obviously in Havana. Maybe you can give a little background on that, but you said you saw them actually also exacerbating behavior down in Antarctica. Let's talk about what these things are. I don't think a lot of people know about them. I think that's what was being implied in that Netflix movie. Did you see that, Leave the World Behind?
I did actually see that, and I would agree that they, for a brief moment, there was the audible sound that they had fired up in the movie, and I believe that was alluding to a directed energy weapons attack, that everybody kind of was hindered by the audio capacity coming around them.
And was any of those symptoms accurate or possible? It was really interesting because
I believe they're accurate and possible. Absolutely.
Because the kid was losing his teeth. Obviously, everybody was stressed and incapacitated by the signals and the sounds or whatever they're being hit with. But it was scary. And the funny thing about that weapon system, and I'm sure you'll go into this more, Eric, is that there's nobody to point the finger at. And in a weird way, it also makes it worse, because it's like more frustrating. And then I think the whole movie was you start to suspect it is coming from the inside of your organization, which maybe it was in that case. So tell us a little bit more about these weapons and maybe even the Havana syndrome as well.
You got it. I think first and foremost, in reference to that movie, one of the things that was off, right, was they misled the general population by alluding to the sound that was heard audibly. Now remove that sound so that it's even more plausible deniability. If you don't even hear a sound, but you're getting this impact, where's the attack coming from? So they do not need to give you an audible sound to give you the negative impact of a directed energy weapon. So that was a bit misleading. And what people should be very scared of is that these systems are designed for pure invisibility while still reaping the benefit of what they intended. As an example, when you had mentioned, that I was privy to witnessing this, my winter site manager, who I dealt with religiously in my hiring process, who spoke to me very clearly. This was one of the people in my hiring process who was tasked with explaining to me the severity of the role that I was taking on, in as so far as we will not be medically evac'd. It is not possible. So you have to sign up knowing that if something goes wrong during that winter season, you're in the hands of your crew, and that's it. There is no way out. But with that being said, this highest ranking person at the facility towards the tail end of our winter season was, what I believe, negatively impacted by the proximity to the directed energy weapons platforms that we were functionally operating. And she fell to what people can call either Havana syndrome symptoms or what they're now calling anomalous health incidents. But she was under the impression that she had a stroke, and she herself started demanding medical evacuation from a facility that she should know better. But I believe that, like a wounded animal, she was just reacting. She was scared. She was hurt. She was changed. She understood that she was in danger. But again, it's an invisible weapon. So she didn't know where this attack was coming from. And I believe that she was attempting to identify her problem to the best of her ability. She, lined it up and believed, I must have had a stroke. But long story short, when she got off of the ice, I believe it was Johns Hopkins University that she went to be checked out. And the long and short of that was that they said she absolutely did not have a stroke. So I do believe that something happened to her and she felt the effects and she was scared and she was just trying to do her best to defend herself against an attack.
Can you tell us what happened in Havana? Because a lot of people don't know the background. Do you have those details you can kind of share? And then what we later thought it might be?
I'm not that familiar with the specifics. The only thing that I do know is that they have reduced it down to a microwave weapon attack. That much they do know.
I think it was the U.S. Embassy in Havana. As I remember, I thought a lot of the people that worked there were reporting a lot of these strange headaches and these other symptoms, and no one could really explain it. But later, they were pretty conclusive that it really aligned with one of these like microwave attacks or something like that.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Is they do know that the agents of the U.S. that were in that facility were negatively impacted by some sort of a microwave energy beam. That much we know, but they don't know from whom, and everybody seems to be in denial of, that this is going on widespread. Just this past May 8th, in the United States, they had over in Washington, D.C., was the House Homeland Security meeting, where they had witness testimony provided from a fistful of gentlemen from about the world. And the long and short of this most recent discussion was the witnesses were bringing forth their testimony stating that these directed energy weapons platforms have been in use by many factions since the very least the early 1980s. So it is starting to come to light that this stuff is legit. It's just, as they stated in this testimony, that all of the factions, which is many, that have these technologies in hand are not communicating with each other, and they're already operating similarly to the South Pole, where you have primary missions presented, but then second and tertiary activities going on. Nobody wants to admit what they're doing behind closed doors.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy.
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared
Because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.